So I think it is appropriate to start with the economic outlook. You know, the corporate community, I want to emphasize again, said, boy, you establish a union, you'll ruin the economy. It's not because of unions. It's important all of you always remember that. Not because of taxes, and it's just as important that you remember that. Not because of social programs. We're in trouble because of pure, ugly greed. And brothers and sisters, let's not buy into this tax deficit argument. You can't cut the tens of thousands of jobs into public service and expect the services to be the same. So when people are advocating cutting public service jobs, you're advocating cutting the services that Canadians need. There's a correlation between their jobs and the services that we provide, and we got to be on this job side and we got to be on the service side during this particular time. So let's get focused on the issues that are important to our members, because today it's not about politics and isolation. It's about workers. It's about people in Ontario and every other province in the country that need government at this particular time of a recession. So I would like to challenge the labor movement to think outside the box, to think how we could get in there and try to work with government in the interest of our members, in the interest of public services. I want to talk a little bit about the Occupy movement. I went to Toronto, and I watched with great interest their General Assembly, where they got together, no bureaucracy, just got together, and people were raising issues in their General Assembly, they call it. And they were talking about inequality. They were talking about the joblessness. They were talking about the lack of opportunities. They taught us a lesson, brothers and sisters. And the lesson is that we cannot ignore the social inequalities that's happening in our nation. We have a responsibility, the same way we need to fight for retirees to retire in dignity and respect through our Canada Pension and Old Age system, we also have to fight for the next generation. Good news, I know you wanted it to come. Shipbuilding. The Irving Group won a $25 billion federal contract to build Navy ships. And brothers and sisters, it's a victory for Canadians, it's a victory for our union, it's a victory for shipbuilders, but more importantly than ever, it's an important victory for the next generation of shipbuilders. Because in this room, we got to talk about the unemployed. We got to talk about the opportunities that aren't available to them. And during this shipbuilding campaign, we generated jobs for the next generation. And to me, that is the biggest victory. Enhancing jobs for our existing members is great, but the next generation of workers excite me. The next generation of trade unionists excite me even more. Another good news story, brothers. It's not all bad news, but it doesn't happen without our collective work. And Rio Tinto and Kitimat is going to be announcing that $2.7 billion investment is going to become a reality, and the jobs as a result of that $2.7 billion is going to start immediately in the construction of a new facility in Kitimat. And that is good news for the CAW, and it's good news for Canadians. We need to obviously increase union density in this country. And the only way that we can do it is all of us become organizers. Every one of you can have a lead in the workplace. Every one of you could build pride in that restaurant, build pride at that family table, build some respect for the institution, and tell people what the union stands for and what it means when you join the union. We want to thank you for the work that you do day in and day out to advance the causes of our members and advance the cause of economic and social justice, to talk about the important issues important to our union and our membership throughout this country. So brothers and sisters, thank you with the greatest amount of respect.